You are watching a tactical unit move in at a store, cuffing people, including this man, an employee. The officers don't realize they are being taped by surveillance cameras.
I'm getting a gun pointed at me and I'm getting punched in my face and kicked in my ribs.
Jacques Howard was the store employee. His brother Paul Neal was working outside the South Shore shop for a government cell phone program. They used a cell phone to copy the surveillance footage.
I was laying in that last aisle over there on the floor.
Howard says the officers never even said why they were there. He says Officer George Stacker was the first to approach him.
He came to the front. He said, "You work here?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Well, not after today. You're fired."
The brothers watch the tape and are still in disbelief about what happened next.
That's Aldo Brown.
This man is Officer Aldo Brown. They say his nickname in the neighborhood is Throwback. He approached next.
He told me to drop my pants. He said, "Take off my pants."
Howard didn't want to strip but lowered his pants. Then things got worse.
And then that's when he hit me over here on this side. Ooh. I got hit in the right side of my face.
So your hands were down.
Exactly.
And he walked up and he just threw a punch.
Yes. He put his hand around my throat and got to choking me. And then he threw me on the floor and put me in cuffs. And while I was in cuffs is when he hit me like 2 more times in the face and kicked me in the ribs a couple of times.
Paul Neal says he had a similar run-in with the same Officer Brown last year and had filed a complaint. He wanted to help his brother, but says he was being roughed up outside the store by Officer Stacker.
He threw me on the car, and that's when he started hitting me in my ribs.
Basically, these guys are just trying to work.
Attorney Tim Fischella represents the brothers who were both arrested that day, but the charges were eventually dismissed because the officers did not show up in court.
Had there not been video evidence, there could be a completely different outcome.
It's going to be his word against an officer's word.
Somebody got to do something about this guy.
Well, I would like it if he can get fired.
The whole incident occurred in about 25 minutes. Neal was charged with resisting arrest. Howard, the store employee, was charged with having a gun, which he says was for protection because of violence around the store. But again, the charges were dropped after the officers didn't show up in court. A federal lawsuit has been filed by the brothers. We were unable to reach Officer Aldo Brown, but Officer George Stacker did tell CBS 2 he felt they followed police guidelines to a T.
But what were they doing that caused this?
We don't know yet. The police haven't said what they were doing. Suspicion that there was some kind of crime going on, but nothing specific.
But it's clear they were beat up.
Definitely.
What are the odds that Officer Brown gets fired as the one?
You know, it's got to go through the internal review. It's hard to say. It's hard to say what else might have been going on that day.
Okay. Thanks, Dave.